Hello YouTube! This video is part of my build series for the 3D printable Jabba's Palace complete with hangar. I am going to build the whole thing. I purchased this massive set of 3D printable files from Massassi for my 3.75-inch or 1:18 scale Star Wars figures. I will include the link in the description below. Today we are going to work on set 3, the Hangouts area. In this diagram, you can see where set 3 fits into the overall design of the top floor. This is my second video of my build of set 3, the Hangouts. If you haven't already watched the first video or any of my other Jabba's Palace videos, you can find them in my playlist that I have linked to in the description below. In this video, I will show you how to fill in the seams between the assembled printed pieces. I will also show you how to apply mortar to add texture and depth to the floors and walls. Then I will show you how to spray the primer and base coat, how to paint the various surfaces, and how to add streaks to the walls. After everything is assembled, it's time to work on the seams between the glued pieces. Here is a link to my video that shows you how to address the exterior, interior, and primary seams on this set. So here is set 3 with all the seams finished. You can see for the exterior themes on the outside, I've used the polyfilla, so everything is white. And for the primary seams, I've used wood filler. So those are all the seams we had to do. That's what the back looks like. I did have to use wood filler on these interior seams that I wouldn't work on at all, but I had to put wood filler here, here, and here because it was cracking on the edges, and the wood filler is a little bit stronger. So I put it on, sanded it flat, put a little bit of an edge on it, and I think that's going to hold. And one other thing is, in the inside, so all the seams on the inside, on the floors, and on the edges, I didn't put any wood filler at all because the seams are very small and the mortar in the next step is going to cover it up, I think, without having to waste any time doing the seams. To get ready for the mortar, I installed these 3 lamps that I printed on my resin printer. I decided not to install the nargles in the roof because I wanted to be able to remove the roof easily without having anything attached to it. So I filled in these holes with wood filler. So all these holes, there were double holes here and here, 8 of them for the nargles. Then I went into Blender and created 4 new pipes. And these pipes are going to be what holds the nargles. This is Blender. I imported the original object from the attributes of set 2, and I modified it to look like this. So I shortened off each of the ends. I added a base that I could glue to the walls of set 3, and I enlarged the hole a little bit more from the original so that the nargles would fit in there easier for me once it was glued in. And I won't get into specific details, but in Blender you select the object, you go into edit mode, and then you can simply select the pieces that you want. And then in my case, I moved them and shrunk them down, and then I added a whole new piece and then booleaned them together to make this object. And then this is what I printed. I'm going to mount the new pipes on the walls like this in the corner on each one. And I'll glue them in with super glue. So the one in each room. Now I'm going to start applying mortar. This will give our floors and walls a nice texture and depth. And it will make our paint job look much more spectacular. Here is a link to my video that shows you how to apply mortar to your models. Here's what it looks like when the mortar is all finished and all the edges have been cleaned up and sanded. And then here's the roof. And this part that I did goes on the front because you'll see it from underneath. And now it's time to take it outside in my garage and paint the base coat. I let the base coat, the spray paint, completely dry for 2 days. Now it's time to paint the set. Right now, it is all one solid color, but we can make it look much more realistic and awesome. We'll start with a burnt umber wash, which is a dark shade of brown. To make the wash, it's 1 part paint, 10 parts water, and 1 drop of regular dish soap. And the dish soap just helps everything flow better. It's a flow agent. So, we'll start with the wash and just apply it over all the surfaces where we put the mortar. This is the painting strategy that we're going to use for all of the sets in the palace. First, we spray the base coat. Second, we do 2 coats of acrylic burnt umber wash. Then we do a black wash. Then I go outside and use my airbrush to spray Tamiya Desert Yellow, Tamiya Buff for the areas that are floors only, not the walls. And then I use a final coat of Rust-Oleum Matte Clear. This will give us some nice tonal variation. And when you do that, typically want to have 4 or 5 different tones of the same color. So in our case, we're going to go with black, burnt umber, nutmeg, desert yellow, and buff. Here is a link to my video that shows you more detail on how to paint your set. Here is what the set looks like after it has been painted. And here's the top and the removable roof piece. And that concludes this video. In the next video, I will show you how I completed the sofa and cushion attributes of set 3A. Thank you for watching my build series video for the 3D printable Jabba's Palace complete with hanger from Massassi. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. If you have any other ideas or tips for how to complete any of the steps that I've shown, please leave us a comment below.